Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 56th commencement exercises at National Trail High School. At this time, please remain standing. Remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Please remain standing. Please welcome Abby Anderson, Jonathan Sturgill, Brian Toshlog, and Joshua Wells to the podium to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Abby and Joshua have enlisted in the United States Air Force. Jonathan has enlisted in the United States Marine Corps, and Brian has enlisted in the United States Navy. Thank you. You may all be seated. At this time, I would like to welcome Miss Addison Sparks for our invocation. Addison is the daughter of Leslie and Jake Sparks. Addison plans to attend Wilmington College to study sports management and communications while playing volleyball.
Okay, if you would please bow your heads with me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we are here today with hearts full of gratitude and hope as we honor the remarkable journeys of each of these graduates. We thank you for bringing us all here together safely and for this opportunity to rejoice, celebrate, and reminisce on this milestone. As our time as a Blazer comes to an end, we thank you all for all of the memories, friendships, and knowledge we have gained in this very building. As we go our separate ways, we pray for success among our peers. We pray for the courage to face the unknown with confidence, strength to overcome challenges, and perseverance to pursue our dreams. Please give us knowledge and wisdom to lead us towards a successful and fulfilling life, a life that glorifies you. Equip us to reflect your love in our future endeavors and help us to use our gifts and talents to make this world a better place. As you said in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." May you remind us of your presence and goodness, not only during the ceremony, but throughout our lives as alumni. We lift these graduates up to you, Lord, that you will surround us with love and protection as we embark on this journey. Please bless the ceremony, our families, teachers, and all who have helped us along the way. In your holy name we pray, amen.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, parents, friends, relatives, faculty, staff, and most importantly, the class of 2024. My name is Michael Eiler, and I am proud to be the principal at National Trail High School, and it is with great pleasure that I welcome you to the commencement exercises here at National Trail. These students seated before you have worked for 13 years to reach another significant milestone in their lifelong journey. Before we begin, I would like to remind all guests and students to please silence your electronic devices and please refrain from talking and being disruptive during this important event in our students' lives. We ask that as graduates' names are being called that you do not use any type of noisemaker or distracting device so that we do not take away from our graduates and their accomplishments. At this point, it's my pleasure to introduce our special guests who have joined us tonight. I ask that we hold applause until after all of our introductions for each group. First, our National Trail Local Board of Education, President Mrs. Cindy Lee, Vice President Mr. David Harris, and board members Mr. Greg McWhinney, Mr. Gary Moore, and Mrs. Mindy Ward. Representing the Preble County Educational Service Center is ESC Superintendent Mr. Sean Hoff. And representing the National Trail Central Office is our Superintendent, Mr. Robert Fisher, and our Treasurer, Mr. Kerry Borger. I would also like to recognize the faculty and staff of the National Trail Local School District, in particular the high school faculty who have worked so hard this year to provide as many educational opportunities to our students as possible. Please stand to be recognized. I would also like to thank Mrs. Roxanne Laird, Mrs. Cindy Hogue, Ms. Sahara Williamson, Mrs. Jean Brower, Mr. Brian Poole, Mr. Wes Taylor, Mr. Vinny Ebersol, Mrs. Lisa Ebersol, Mr. Joel Flora, and the National Trail custodial staff for their help in preparing for tonight's commencement activities. And in addition, thank you to Mr. Logan Klump and Ms. Judy Jordan for organizing the music selections for tonight. And finally, a special thank you to Ms. Eleanor Hake, Ms. Addison Sparks, Ms. Aaliyah Raymert, and Ms. Kinsey Everman for their help in decorating for tonight's festivities. Class of 2024, I feel very privileged to stand before a class that can be described as small but mighty. While few in overall number, the achievements, impact, and legacy you have left our district will be remembered for years to come. And right now, I would like to honor and recognize some of those achievements. If you have earned your Eagle Scout this year, please stand and remain standing. If you have earned a technical certification, such as an STNA, EKG, or PCT, or your other career passport from MVCTC, please stand. If you completed an internship or apprenticeship, please stand. If prior to graduating here tonight, you have earned an associate's degree, please stand. And finally, if you have competed at the state or national level in any sort of competition for a co-curricular or extracurricular activity, please stand. All of these accomplishments are in addition to the myriad other awards and accolades the class of 2024 has earned over the years. Keeping that in mind, graduates, I want you to keep that energy going after you leave this gymnasium tonight. Continue to achieve and push yourselves to greater accomplishments. Last week at the MVCTC Senior Recognition Ceremony, their board president, Dr. Espeleta, said to the students, "The moment you stop improving is the moment you start your replacement process. Class of 2024, you have consistently raised the bar for yourselves, and do not stop now. Go out there and be the best at what you do. Innovate in your jobs, build up your communities, and above all else, do good in this world. Your educators, your family, and your friends will all be behind you, cheering you on." After high school, many of our students will take different paths. Some will join the workforce, some will join the military, and while others will head off to a 2 or 4 year post-secondary institution to continue their education. The class of 2024 earned numerous awards and honors during the course of this year, and the first such honor is the amount of money in scholarship awards and contributions collected by this class. This year, the class of 2024 earned over $382,274 in scholarships. Of the 59 graduating members of the class of 2024, 28 of these seniors plan to continue their education at a 2 or 4 year post-secondary educational option, trade school, or apprenticeship program. Seniors, if you are attending one of those programs, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. 21 of our students are planning to go straight into the workforce after graduating high school and have accepted one of those jobs. Please stand and be recognized. And finally, we have 4 students who have officially committed to the United States Armed Services. Please stand and be recognized. Wherever your paths lead you, Blazers, we wish you luck and continued success. At this time, I would like to welcome to the podium Senior Class President, Ms. Eleanor Hake. Eleanor is the daughter of Nathan Hake and Amy Swain. She plans to attend the University of Dayton in the fall and will major in communications. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Eleanor Hake.
Good evening, esteemed faculty, proud parents, honored guests, and of course, the incredible graduating class of National Trail. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Eleanor Hake, and it is my honor to be here serving in my final assignment as class president for the class of 2024. I would like to take the time to thank all the educators, administrators, aides, counselors, nurses, staff, and bus drivers. You have set an amazing example and tone for all of us, not just scholastically, but morally as well. Fellow classmates, today marks a significant milestone in our lives as we stand here together for the final time on the threshold of our future. It is only natural to look back at our journey together this far. Collectively, we have overcome countless challenges, celebrated numerous victories, and forged lasting friendships along the way. But today is not about what we've accomplished, it's about what we leave behind, and more importantly, what lies ahead. As students, we have spent the better halves of our lives together, and I would like to think that we know who we are graduating with. One thing that will always stick out to me about my time at National Trail is how tight-knit our community is. I can name every single person walking this stage tonight and could probably share 3 facts about each other. We have all had the opportunity to interact and share our youth with each other, and for that, I am grateful. There are certain things we will always remember from high school, and I thought I would share a couple with you tonight, starting with a few of my favorite memories. Anyone and everyone who drives to school or is in the school parking lot before 7:30 knows that without fail, Blake Oswald will be in the parking lot with windows down and music blaring. Or that one time we had an actual fire drill and we all went running to the football field. I feel bad for the kids that had to go into the football locker room. Disgusting. As well as the well-known World War III that happened in middle school. If you know, you know. And let's not forget about winning the Spirit Stick during homecoming week, or all the free blocks spent in Mrs. Laird's room, the FFA events, the spelling bees, the field trips, the plays, the concerts, all the coffees that were made, and one of my all-time favorites that cannot be repeated, but quoted from Fletcher Davies' favorite book in the 7th grade. Entering high school as a freshman, we did not know who we were. We would search for ourselves in the eyes of others. We spent the majority of our lives trying to find ourselves, and unfortunately, this isn't something you can just chat GPT. Well, I'm sure you can, but I don't think AI has ever been in high school. I would like to thank each and every one of you here today for helping us find the answer to the question of who we are, and for lending a hand to help us mold us into who we are today. To all the teachers, you have taken our dark days and you have made them sunny. We all have scars. We all have broken pieces. But have you ever seen the mosaics that are made out of broken glass? They are absolute proof that we are all destined to be something beautiful, no matter how many broken pieces we have. You are all about to open a new door, and I'm so glad I get to do that with you tonight. We have waited for this, just like we wait for many things. We wait to start kindergarten, we wait to ride on the bus with the big kids. We wait to get to the big game. We wait to be in the school play. We wait for our first concert. We wait to get our license, but most importantly, we wait to cross the stage. Regretfully, I spent most of my time waiting and not taking it all the way in. People always tell you that your senior year flies by fast, but boy, I had no clue how fast it was actually going to go. Before my eyes, we participated in all of our last first day, our last Friday night lights, our last homecoming week, our last FFA banquet, our last final exam, which I know we're all glad, and now our last time in this school as a student. As a class, there's one thing I want to task you all to do: leave a legacy. What is a legacy? Well, it is more than just a footprint. It's an imprint of our values, our actions, and our beliefs on the world among us. It is the impact we make, the lives we touch, and the change we inspire. It's about making the world a little better than the way we found it. But how do we go about creating a legacy worthy of remembrance? It starts with a vision of the world as it could be, not as it is. It's about daring to dream big and refusing to settle for the normal. It's about standing up for what we believe in, even when it's not popular, and striving for excellence in everything we do. It's also about service to others, service to our communities, and service to the greater good. It's about using our talents and abilities to make a positive impact on the world, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. Every act of kindness has the power to create ripples that will go far beyond our own lives. And finally, it's about living with integrity, about being true to ourselves and others and our values, even when faced with temptation or adversity. It's about standing up for what is right, even when it's not easy, and leading by example in everything we do. As we stand here today, ready to set out on our journey to the rest of our lives, let us not forget the lessons we have learned, the friendships we have forged, and the dreams we have dared to dream. Let us go forth with courage and compassion, knowing that the legacy we are leaving behind is a reflection of the change we have accomplished in our school. You see, we all have been given a great gift, the gift of a strong foundation to which to build our adult lives on. They say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, here at National Trail, we have several villages and a few cornfields in between. What may seem to the outside world as the humblest of beginnings is really the perfect recipe to create a sturdy foundation that will allow each of us to excel beyond our wildest dreams. We have learned that hard work will overcome many obstacles. We have learned that even though we are small, together we are mighty. We have learned that we can accomplish anything we want, and we are only limited by our own imagination. We have learned all these things because we have a village. We have a village that cares, prays, loves, prepares, guides, and nurtures. Maya Angelou said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2024 feels loved. Thank you. Lastly, remember, as our school motto reminds us, #It's better to be a Blazer. Let this motto guide you as you embark on your journey beyond these walls, reminding you of the strength, unity, and pride that comes along with being a part of our school community. Congratulations, graduates. May your future be filled with purpose, passion, and possibility. And may the legacy you leave behind be the one of love, laughter, and lasting impact. Let's all go show the world it's better to be a Blazer. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to welcome our salutatorian, Mr. Aiden Pearson, to the stage. Aiden plans to attend Ohio University this fall to major in psychology. Aiden is the son of Mitch and Nicole Pearson. Please welcome to the stage, salutatorian Aiden Pearson.
Hello. I would like to start by saying I will keep this brief, as I know how important it is to show off and display everyone graduating today with us. I don't want to come up here and boast about my accomplishments or tell everybody listening how to become a better student. However, I would rather like to touch on something that would resonate with everyone in the audience, not just those who are graduating or are still in school. Finding yourself and who you're meant to become is something we're all told a lot in school, but is misconceived. It is much more than just what you want to do for work after you graduate, but is often associated with just that, which I'm also not here to speak on. I would instead like to talk about everything else that comes with discovering who you are and expressing yourself unlike anyone else. As many of you know, I don't express myself like how my peers express themselves, or even how many of the other people who live near us express themselves. With that comes stares, laughs, negative comments from people you don't even know for simply being true to yourself, even if it may be different from the majority of people sitting next to you. Yet the truth is, it should never matter what anyone else thinks of you, and that the only person you need to please is yourself. Putting yourself first and loving yourself no matter what the world thinks of you can be hard. People are cruel and will do everything they can to make you feel smaller than them. Learning to accept others just the way you accept yourself is something everyone here should work on. You will never be able to take back the hateful things that you've said in the past, but there's always time to improve, not only for your family, your friends, but for yourself. Cherish the people around you and love them unconditionally despite their differences, because no one is made the same, and everyone has the right to be their own unique self, no matter how anyone else perceives you. I would like to end this off by saying, don't settle. It is something very simple, yet so important. Don't settle in a place you don't love. Don't settle for someone who doesn't build you and others up. Don't settle for friends that don't support you. Settle for nothing but perfection. Don't get stuck in a repetition that doesn't fit you. Thank you.
At this time, let's welcome our valedictorian, Mr. Blake Oswald, to the stage. Blake plans to attend The Ohio State University this fall to major in food, agriculture, and biological engineering. Blake is the son of Fred and Carrie Oswald. Please welcome to the stage valedictorian, Mr. Blake Oswald.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to the class of 2024's graduation. This high school journey, which seemed not too long ago, has come to an end whether we want it to or not. We have had fun times, sad times, and hard times, pushing through many obstacles. All of us have taken different paths, done different things, and have accomplished great things. These past 2 years have been especially quiet, while half of you attended MVCTC, and it was sad sometimes knowing I had many other classmates that I never saw. But what matters is that you are all here today to cross the finish line and look back on your journey to get here. Back in middle school, I was known as the Cabbage Kid, someone who spent much time on the farm, and because of that, was mostly the only thing I would talk about. Many times, I felt very unconnected with all of you, because of my involvement on the farm and the things I did that many of you didn't understand. And that was okay because it taught me to accept my differences and be myself. I think being raised on a farm raised an expectation by many that I was pressured to continue that tradition after high school. But something I'm proud of is that my parents made it very clear that I didn't need to continue the tradition if I didn't want to, and that they just wanted me to find what I love to do and be successful with it. For those reasons, I made it my goal in high school to find what I love to do and to develop a plan to get where I wanted to be. For me, being on this stage representing all of you, getting accepted to Ohio State, achieving the rank of Eagle Scout, and being president of the FFA was all just a dream back in 8th grade. Achieving all of this has taught me that if you work hard, great things will come, sometimes unexpectedly or when you need it the most. I have learned working hard had a cost though, sometimes taking the fun out of almost everything I did. Spending hours late at night doing homework, combined with harvest in the fall, FFA, and the other activities I did throughout my high school journey, sometimes made it difficult to enjoy the work I was doing and the life I was having. Of course, it all worked out in the end, and if I were to do it all again, I probably wouldn't have done anything differently. Except maybe lighten my workload a little bit and focus more on my faith so that maybe I could have coped with my overwhelming stress better. The point is, I think sometimes we worry too much about the highway ahead of us that we forget to take the time to absorb the surroundings around us and use the best of it. Whether we like it or not, we will experience rough patches in our lives, and most of the time there's nothing we can do to stop them. The best thing we can do is keep pushing through, knowing that we will be okay as long as we keep optimistic, keep our head up, and keep our faith near us. Leaving this high school and entering a new chapter in our life will be difficult for some of us, leaving us confused and lost sometimes. But I also want to let you know, even though we've been told very many times, that it's never wrong to ask for help. Most of us will be going to a new place, away from home, away from our friends and family, and it will be a little scary at first. But I believe that we can do it. As long as we are willing to ask for help and guidance, we can pull through just like we have several times. All of us have different plans for what we are going to do in the next couple of years, and no matter what it is, I want to wish you the best of luck. All of us here can accomplish great things and do whatever we want to, as long as we put our minds to it, as long as we stay optimistic no matter how rough it gets, and ask for help when we need it. On behalf of the class of 2024, I want to thank everyone who has helped us along the way, our teachers, our family, our friends, and everyone who has taken time in our life to get where we are today. Things will be different without some of you next year, and we will never forget the impact you have made on our lives for us to get here and get where we want in the future. To the class of 2024, it is an honor to be your valedictorian and a part of our class. I can't wait to see what some of us do and what other great things we accomplish later on. Remember to keep your faith, be kind, never give up, be diligent in labor, just in your dealings, and above all, be honest and fair in the game of life. Thank you.
Tonight's commencement speaker is the Honorable Judge Stephen R. Bruns. Judge Bruns is the judge of the Preble County Common Pleas Court. He grew up in New Paris and graduated from National Trail High School in 1976. While a student at National Trail, he was the class valedictorian and finished first in the state of Ohio in 4 different statewide history and social studies examinations. He is the first National Trail graduate elected to a Preble County office. Judge Bruns graduated from the University of Cincinnati in 1980 with a degree in political science and from the Ohio State University College of Law in 1983. He practiced law in Eaton from 1983 until he was elected judge in 2018. He has taught business law and criminal law classes at Indiana University East, Miami University, and the Career Technology Center Adult Police Academy. He served 6 terms as president of the Preble County Bar Association and 15 years as a member of the Ohio Bar Association Council of Delegates. He has also been a member of the Eaton Board of Education, the Preble County Board of Elections, the Preble County Historical Society Board, the Preble County Council on Aging Board, and the Preble County Mental Health Board. He has been married for 42 years to Lisa Lang Bruns and has 2 children. Andrew, who is a partner in the Kecker, Van Nest, and Peters law firm in San Francisco, and Molly, who works for the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C. Please welcome to the podium Judge Stephen R. Bruns.
One of the factors of being a graduate of the class 76 and years passing, I can't do this without these, so you give me just a second. Thank you and good evening, Board President Lee and members of the school board, Superintendent Fisher, Principal Eiler, and other members of the administration, faculty, staff, family, and friends of the graduates, and my newest fellow alumni of National Trail High School, the class of 2024. Thank you. I wish I had known the quality of the student speakers was going to be so high, I might have declined the invitation. The mountain I have to climb is awfully high. Now, the first thing I want to get out of the way, I don't know if anybody else saw this story, but it alarmed me to the point that I wanted to make sure it was the first point that I made. There was an article in the paper that I read that a billionaire hedge fund owner spoke for the commencement at Dartmouth College last weekend and gave each of the graduates $1,000. I just want you to know that's not happening. So don't get your expectations up there. Mr. Eiler told me that I had about 7 or 8 minutes. My first draft went to about half an hour, and I've spent a lot of time trying to whittle it down, but it's still a little long. And I just didn't feel like there was anything that I could cut that didn't really go to the heart of what I wanted to say. I tried to think of some suggestions. The only thing I could think of, can everybody from S to Z just come up as one group instead of calling them one at a time? Okay, thank you. But I do apologize for going a little long, and hopefully it will be somewhat worthwhile. As you've heard, I graduated from National Trail in 1976, America's bicentennial year. With 137 graduates, ours was the largest class of the 57 that have passed through these hallowed halls. There is a reason our generation was called the baby boomers. Although I've been in this school many times since I last stood on this stage 48 years ago when I gave the valedictorian address to my classmates, but my primary memories from that day are a little hazy. It was sweltering. Congratulations to the school board for putting air conditioning in here. It was overwhelming. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause, right? And I don't have this in my notes, but I do want to say congratulations to everybody who plays a part in keeping this building together. It is now 57 years old, and it looks great. It looks like it did when I was here when it was only 7 years old. So to the board, the custodial staff, everybody responsible for that, as a member, as an alumni, I say thank you. Great job. My primary memory from giving that valedictorian address was I was standing up here in great heat, wearing, of course, the mortar board with the tassel. I wore glasses then. I was pretty much a first-class nerd then, and nothing has changed. And as I leaned over to look at my notes to give the speech, the tassel fell between my glasses and my eyes so that I couldn't read my notes. So since then, I have started wearing contact lenses, and I absolutely refuse to wear a hat that has a tassel on it, just from that experience. When I was first invited to give this speech, Cindy Hoke was good enough to share a copy of the program from our 1976 commencement ceremony, and also your school board president, Cindy Lee, who is an outstanding probation officer who works for me in the Common Pleas Court, provided me with some information about your class, including your post-graduation plans and your class motto. And I saw that your motto was a quote from the Buddha, "What you think, you become." Well, that rang a distant bell, and so I looked in that 1976 program, and sure enough, our class motto was, "What you think, you become." Now, the first thought I had was, really, you've had 48 years to come up with something original, and you're just copying from us? But I decided to take the high road and assume that you are just using that as an homage to the class of 76. So on behalf of my classmates, thank you for remembering us. Now, I had many outstanding teachers when I was here, and I'd like to mention the names of 5 who were particularly impactful to me. And there may be some of you here who recognize some of these names. Harold Steiner, who taught history and government classes. Jerry Thompson and Bob Ashworth, who were science and math teachers. Thelma Swihart, who was an English teacher. And John Bain, who was the band and chorus director. They were all outstanding teachers and even better human beings. Their excellence and that of their colleagues deserves to be recalled, I think, from time to time. And I know that all, and I'm directing this to specifically the graduates here, I know that all of you recognize that you owe a debt to the teachers who have taught you and inspired you from kindergarten through today. And I know you've already done this, but it's in my notes and I think it's deserved. I'm going to ask just the graduates, please stand and give a round of applause to your faculty members. Thank you. If a teacher who's here today was particularly inspiring to you, before you leave, go up to them and tell them how much they meant to you. I guarantee you it will mean the world to them. Now, to the heart of the matter. We all have two great aspirations, I believe, to be happy and to live a life of purpose and meaning. How to achieve those aims will, of course, vary widely among people. Some believe those goals can only be met by becoming a famous movie star or at least an influencer on TikTok. Others would be completely content living off the grid, doing nothing but observing nature in all its glory. Most of us come somewhere in between. We would like to find employment that we enjoy, that provides us with a sufficient income to be comfortable, to be surrounded by a loving family, to enjoy good health, and to be able to do some good in our communities so that we have friends and neighbors who like and respect us. Well, there are some things that I would suggest that you can do to increase the likelihood of achieving those goals. A couple of years ago, I heard a speech by Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker to the students at Northwestern University just outside of Chicago, where my daughter and her fiance did some graduate work. He said that the key to happiness was to avoid stupid people, and that it was easy to identify stupid people. Look for people who weren't kind. And I think he's entirely correct, and his advice is good. But I will tell you from great experience that avoiding stupid and unkind people is all too often just not possible. In my work, I encounter such people every day, and frankly, that's just the lawyers. Now, I have no choice in the people that come before my court. We have little choice in our bosses or our co-workers. You have no choice in the customer service department people that you have to deal with when you're trying to change an airline reservation. Sometimes we have no option but to deal with folks who are neither bright nor kind. And since you cannot entirely avoid such people, I think a more realistic approach than Governor Pritzker's is to develop what I believe to be the most important human characteristic, empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. After living a long time on this planet, I have concluded that developing empathy is the primary key to happiness. So many problems stem from an unwillingness or an inability to consider other people as fellow human beings and to see things from another person's perspective. We certainly don't have to agree on everything, but all people have a right to be treated respectfully and with dignity. Some people seem to be born with empathy, while others, and I count myself among this number, have to develop it. And perhaps the most consequential decision of my life was to attend the University of Cincinnati. There, this small-town kid, for the first time, met and became friends with people who were very different from me. People of color, people with a different sexual orientation, people of other religious faiths, people from all over the United States, and people from Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan, India, China, Korea, Japan, and France, and even a guy who graduated from Tri-County North. I lived in a dorm with people of diverse backgrounds and life experiences, but they all became friends. And I realized that although they might be superficially different from me, they were fundamentally the same as myself and the people that I grew up with and my classmates here at National Trail. It is just not possible to hate people once you really know them for no reason other than their color, their religion, or where they're from. All those traits become invisible once you get to know a person. I urge you to make an effort at some point in your life to spend some extended time in a bigger city, just to have the better opportunity to meet people with different backgrounds. Those of you who've enlisted in the armed forces, thank you, by the way, for your willingness to serve your country. You will already be members of the most diverse organization in the United States. If you're going to a college that offers an opportunity to study abroad, do it if you possibly can. And take every opportunity you have to travel and engage people in conversation. A year ago at this time, my wife and I were in Botswana on a photo safari. That is a very different world from ours. But we found the people there to share our hopes, to share our dreams, to be very much like we were. I had a case that finished this year that began almost a decade ago. One of the parties, a widow, was convinced that her stepson was cheating her out of land to which she had no legal claim. She was completely consumed by anger. She spent all of her time filing motions with the court, repeating the same claims and demands that had been disallowed many times by all three judges who had heard the case over the years. The paperwork that she submitted comprised 2 separate stacks, and I am not exaggerating, as tall as this podium. And she did it herself. She didn't have a lawyer. She was doing nothing but manifesting the anger that she felt towards her stepson. It was the only thing that mattered in her life. She was the unhappiest person I have ever encountered. What a sad way to waste the one all too short life that we are given. On the other hand, and here's the lesson, if your life is not consumed by suspicion and hate, and you are able to understand the perspectives of others, it will be infinitely easier to find happiness that we all seek. The second piece of life advice that I would like to give is a lesson that I learned from my father. He liked to say, if a person has to tell you how honest they are, check your wallet. In my experience, and I've been around long enough that I get reduced price movie tickets, for a genuinely honest person, their honesty is simply a part of who they are. Consequently, they feel no need to broadcast that they are truthful. For them, bragging about honesty is akin to bragging that you can breathe in oxygen and expel carbon dioxide. It is to them simply not worthy of comment. Inauthentic people are typically insecure and feel compelled to try to convince you how great they are. Be wary of people who tell you how honest they are, how religious they are, or what a great deal they have for you. If something seems too good to be true, it is. Let your character and your actions speak for themselves, and evaluate other people the same way. Words are cheap. A person's behavior conveys much more about them than any word ever can. Third, I want to encourage you to try to live a life of purpose. We all experienced the disruptive consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic that were without precedent. I know it impacted your class in a particularly unfortunate way because you missed out on your 8th grade trip to Washington. And I will tell you, that is no small thing. One of the defining moments in my life came when I visited Washington for the first time. We did not get to take 8th grade trips back then because it just took too long for the stagecoaches to get back and forth from here to D.C. But during my sophomore year, I got to go to Washington because I finished first on an American history test that was sponsored by the American Legion. One boy and one girl from the 10th, 11th, and 12th grades all got to go, and we were from literally all over the state. We arrived in D.C. a little after dark, and the first place we went was the Washington Monument. There was a light rain falling, which added drama to the scene, and the shadows of the 50 American flags that circle the monument, waving in front of the spotlights, were huge on the marble stones. Even as a cynical 14-year-old, the scene was so beautiful that it choked me up. It's a tragedy that you missed out on that experience. Everything that we saw and did during those days in Washington instilled in me a devotion to America's fundamental principles: democracy, equality, and the rule of law. That experience led me to my chosen career and my involvement in government and politics. When I give instructions to a jury, I tell them that the 2 ways that all citizens are asked to participate in our democracy are by voting and by serving on a jury when called. Now, both are absolutely essential for our country and our justice system to work, but I want to ask you to do more than that. First, dedicate yourselves to continuing to read and to learn. Jefferson said that a democracy can only succeed if the people are educated and have the necessary skills to distinguish between truth and fiction. We owe it to ourselves, our children, and all the people who sacrificed over the preceding 250 years to keep our democracy intact. Secondly, get involved in your community, whether it's running for town council or the school board, volunteering to coach in youth sports, or anything else that interests you. Use at least a part of your time on this earth to make the world a better place. You will feel good about yourself, and you will inspire others. In the film Saving Private Ryan, which is particularly appropriate to invoke on this eve of Memorial Day, immediately after the D-Day landings, a squadron of soldiers led by Captain Miller, played by Tom Hanks, is sent on a mission behind German lines to find a paratrooper whose two brothers had just been killed in other theaters of the war. The War Department wanted to be sure that the entire family was not killed in action in a matter of just a few days. So they wanted to get Private Ryan, played by Matt Damon, to safety. Ultimately, Captain Miller and his men all were either killed in action or suffered mortal wounds. But before their deaths, they were able to not only save Private Ryan, but to keep open a bridge that the Allies needed to break out from the Normandy beaches until reinforcements were able to arrive. Every time I watch that film, I am moved by Captain Miller's last words to Private Ryan: earn this. In other words, live your life in a way as to justify the sacrifice of those soldiers. Well, we have a similar obligation to live our lives in such a way as to honor the people whose vision, bravery, and sacrifices built the world in which we live. And finally, then, I want to encourage you to live up to the name of your school. Be a real trailblazer. The building of the National Road, just a few hundred yards up here to the north, now known as U.S. Route 40, was crucial to the development of this country. But the decision to build it was very controversial. Congressmen from the states where the road did not run objected to federal funds being used for its construction. But after much debate, way back in 1806, at the instigation of President Jefferson, the road was started in Cumberland, Maryland. Eventually, it extended to Vandalia, Illinois. It marked the first time that all of the states contributed to what they called an internal improvement. The road was a huge success, and untold thousands of people traversed it in order to settle the lands to the west and to make America, America. The National Trail was the nation's main street for more than 150 years until the completion of Interstate 70 in the early 1960s. In the early years, the road was jammed with Conestoga wagons carrying families and all of their possessions that the wagons could hold as those trailblazers looked to make a new life in the West. Imagine the courage that it took to leave behind your family, your friends, the place where you called home, unlikely to ever see any of them again. There were no trains for easy trips back home. There weren't even telegraphs to stay in touch. They would be apart and isolated in their new world. But they were courageous and resolute in their desire for a better life. Channel their courage when considering taking on a new venture, moving to a new city, or seeking a promotion. Dare to venture out into new territory yourselves. Once you do take a few bold steps, you will find it ever easier to blaze your own new and exciting trail and fulfill your own hopes and dreams. It has been an honor to be invited back and have this opportunity to share these thoughts with you. Congratulations to you and to your families for achieving this first of what I'm sure will be many happy milestones. Thank you.
Judge Bruns, on behalf of the National Trail Board of Education and the National Trail Local School District, we would like to give you a gift as a token of our appreciation. At this time, please welcome our National Trail Steel Band seniors to perform I Feel Fine 8 days a week. All right, now please welcome Mrs. Roxanne Laird and Ms. Sahara Williamson for the presentation of diplomas for the class of 2024.
Go ahead. Nobody was looking at me. Go. Did you turn the mic on? Did you turn the mic on?
Lillian Faith Allen.
Lillian will be entering the workforce as an emergency dispatcher.
Abby Gail Anderson.
Abby will be joining the United States Air Force for security forces.
Braden Ray Atkins.
Braden will be going to trade school for HVAC.
Gentry Allen Barr.
Gentry will be attending Sinclair Community College, majoring in nursing.
Nicholas Benjamin Berry.
Nicholas will be entering the workforce as an aviation maintenance technician.
Joshua Lee Bradshaw.
Joshua will be entering the workforce.
Willow Marie Bush.
Willow is planning to study forensics.
Kaylee Danielle Carroll.
Kaylee is undecided on her future plans.
Samantha K. Castile.
Sam will be entering the workforce as an emergency dispatcher.
Jaden Allen Childers.
Jaden will be entering the workforce.
Jalea Lynn Coffey.
Jalea will be attending Miami University, majoring in business management.
Fletcher Alexander Davies.
Fletcher will be attending Ohio University, majoring in communications and journalism.
Brandon Matthew DeCan.
Brandon will be entering the workforce, working at a diesel shop.
Maya Bell Dittmer.
Maya
Maya will be attending Indiana University East, majoring in early childhood education.
Clifton Jacob Allen Doolin.
Clifton will be attending Miami University, majoring in graphic design.
Kenzie Nicole Everman.
Kinsey will be attending Ohio University, majoring in nursing.
Madeline Nicole Fisher.
Madeline will be attending Cleveland State University, majoring in criminology.
Joseph Alexander Garden.
Joseph will be continuing to work at Elman as an electrician.
Eleanor Marie Hake.
Eleanor will be attending the University of Dayton, majoring in communications.
Cadence Charity Hammond.
Cadence will be entering the workforce as a nursing assistant.
Hannah Grace Holzapple.
Hannah will be entering the workforce at Wildcat Sports and Graphics.
Ashlyn Nicole Hoover.
Ashlyn will be attending Penn Foster to become a veterinarian technician.
Alyssa Jaden Ibera.
Alyssa will be attending Kent State University, majoring in nursing.
Kendall Rose Johnson.
Kendall will be attending Ivy Tech, majoring in radiology.
Elena Rebecca Nicole Jones.
Elena will be continuing her education at Upper Valley Career Center.
Cooper Savage Lee.
Cooper will be entering the workforce, working at Richmond Power and Light Parallax.
Gretchen Ann Lee.
Gretchen will be attending Sinclair Community College, majoring in fine arts.
Tyler Anthony Lesh.
Tyler will be entering the workforce for HVAC.
Raymond Keaton Lips.
Raymond will be attending Edison State Community College, majoring in nursing.
Lillian Marie McNabb.
Lillian will be attending Sinclair Community College for EMS and police.
Landon Mersad Memedowski.
Landon will be entering the workforce as a diesel technician.
Adam Jacob Miller.
Adam will be entering the workforce as a diesel mechanic and operator.
Blake Austin Oswald.
Blake will be attending The Ohio State University, majoring in food, agriculture, and biological engineering.
Gwendolyn Kimberly Owens.
Gwen will be attending Miami University, majoring in biology.
Madison Ray Palmer.
Madison will be entering the workforce.
Aiden William Pearson.
Aiden will be attending Ohio University, majoring in psychology.
Mariah Isabella Phillips.
Mariah will be attending Kent State University, majoring in nursing.
Dallas Joseph Peratt.
Dallas will be entering the workforce and pursuing fire and EMS.
Evan Michael Porter.
Evan will be attending Ohio University, majoring in graphic design.
Aaliyah Marie Raymert.
Aaliyah will be attending Indiana University, Indianapolis, majoring in nursing.
Joseph Blaze Roberts.
Joseph will be entering the workforce in the sheet metal union.
Kaylee Marie Roland France.
Kaylee will be attending Washington State University, majoring in pre-medicine and neuroscience.
Dylan Joseph Smith.
Dylan will be attending Hobart Institute of Welding Technology.
Norman Logan Smith.
Logan will be attending Wright State University, majoring in communications.
Addison Rose Sparks.
Addison will be continuing her education at Wilmington College, majoring in sports management and communications. Addison will also be playing volleyball at Wilmington.
Haley Lynn Stevenson.
Haley will be entering the workforce.
Jonathan Raymond Sturgill.
Jonathan will be entering the United States Marine Corps for technician maintenance.
Bryce Vernon Thompson.
Bryce will be entering the workforce as an electrician.
Hayden Michael Toothman.
Hayden will be continuing his education at Project Life.
Brian Taylor Toshlog.
Brian will be joining the United States Navy as a nuclear propulsion mechanic.
Draken Ray Utley.
Draken will be entering the workforce.
Dominic Marcel Von Dam.
Dominic will be entering the workforce as an IT technician.
Michael James Wallace.
Michael will be attending Miami University, majoring in anthropology.
Thelma Elizabeth Weldy.
Thelma will be attending the University of Cincinnati, majoring in middle childhood education.
Joshua William Wells.
Joshua will be joining the United States Air Force.
Jonathan Robert Randall Wilson.
Jonathan will be entering the workforce.
We do have two graduates who are unable to be here tonight as they are currently competing at the OHSAA Regional Track Meet. They are joining us virtually from Memorial Stadium in Troy, Ohio. Please turn your attention to the projection screen as we present them with their diplomas.
Chase Michael Rubish.
Chase will be attending Wittenberg University, majoring in sports management.
Jamison Scott Watts.
Jameson will be attending Wittenberg University, majoring in sports management, as well as playing football.
We will now have our flower ceremony. Seniors, please come forward, take a flower, and deliver it to your family. At this time, please welcome the Blue Jacket Boys featuring our senior, Blake Oswald, for a special performance.
I just wanted to say a couple words before we play this song, because I know it'll get crazy afterwards. I'll try not to keep this long. But I just want to tell the boys, it's been a pleasure, guys. It really has. And I'm kind of sad to see you go. I'll miss you guys when I go to college. I know you guys.
Mr. Fisher, Board President, Mrs. Cindy Lee, members of the Board of Education, at this point, I confirm that all of these students have met the requirements of the State of Ohio and the National Trail Local Board of Education. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration of National Trail, I present to you the graduating class of 2024. 2024 class officers, please come forward and lead your class in the turning of your tassels. Please welcome Ms. Kinsey Everman to deliver our benediction. Kinsey is the daughter of Jeremy and Lori Everman. Kinsey will be attending Ohio University pursuing a career in nursing.
Sorry, y'all. Good evening, family, friends, staff, and the graduating class of 2024. Man, I'm really nervous to do this. First, I would like to say we made it, and congratulations. I personally would like to say that I'm proud of each and every one of you here tonight. As we take this next step of life, don't be afraid to be lost, scared, excited, happy, and or angry. John 16:33 says, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. So as we think about that, I would ask that you all would bow your heads and pray with me. Sorry if I cry. Lord, we thank you for bringing us all here today, as you have allowed us to create everlasting friendships, share laughs and tears together. We all stand here grateful just to have breath in our lungs. Lord, I ask that as we embark in this next chapter of life, that you help us be present where our feet are, embracing the beauty and challenges of every moment. As we venture into the world, may we carry the wisdom and values that have been instilled in us, guiding us through every decision and every path we choose. Let our hearts remain open to growth, our minds ever curious, and our spirits resilient. Lord, remind us that no matter how far we roam, we always have a place to call home, whether that is a physical object or a person. May we always feel safe, secure, and loved. May we never forget the support and love that have been our foundation throughout this journey. Grant us the courage to pursue our dreams with passion and purpose, and the grace to handle setbacks with humility and strength. Let us be a light to others, showing kindness and compassion in everything we do. As we take this leap into the future, Lord, help us always find our way back to what truly matters. To love, to family, to faith, and to ourselves. Lord, when we are lost, may you leave the 99 to come chasing after us, and may we praise you and may we thank you for that. With gratitude and hope, we embark on this new chapter, knowing that we carry with us the strength of our shared experiences and the promises of a bright tomorrow. Lord, you put breath in our lungs, and for that we shall be thankful. As we praise you, please guide us, keep us safe, and love on everyone with a heavy heart tonight. Lord, and when we are scared, worried, and have many doubts, may we remember that you were anxious on the cross. People doubted you, and yet in the darkest times where there was no light, you created it. O Lord God, may my classmates before me know that when they are doubted, scared, and can't see past the darkness of today, that the light you created will shine through tomorrow. You see us as all fearfully and wonderfully made and loved beyond measure. We praise you. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Before we adjourn for the evening, I would like to go over the exit procedure with everyone. Seniors will leave the gymnasium upon being dismissed. Seniors, once you leave, you will go to the middle school gym to receive your senior packet that includes your diploma and some other items such as scholarships, awards, and school records. Family and friends, you may exit after the final senior. We ask that you wait in the high school commons or outside in the outdoor eating area for your senior to return so you can greet them and take pictures if you wish. Now, Parents and guests, it is with great pleasure that I introduce the 56th graduating class from National Trail High School, the class of 2024.